This is my 2019 DF Goblin. Just wanted to go over a couple of little frame modifications I had done. Nothing super big. I put this bar here actually allows me to run a upper control arm here and keep the stock lower control arm, and I made a bracket that goes up against the stock spindle, connects the upper control arm here, and I'm able to run a QA1 coilover. Nothing's been fooled with up here with the stock BC coilover mount location. This is just a aftermarket coilover mount bolted into stock, one of the stock holes. So I have all the original equipment that can bolt straight back in anytime I want to bolt it back in. This is just kind of like a mock-up and a test to see how well, which has been doing really well so far for autocross purposes. I put a few little tabs here and there just to put side panels and try to cover up the parts. You see here, I have thumb screws that just hold the panels in place. Up front here, I added a little bit of bracing just to the front toe box from the center bar here. This goes down and to the upper shock mount controls, or the upper shock mount location on both sides, here and here, back to the center of the frame. So hopefully that, which I did notice quite a bit of stiffness. It felt a lot stiffer after I took it to autocross afterwards. This isn't necessarily a frame change, or I didn't weld this on or anything, but these are just plates I made that fit where the upper and lower control arms on the front of the car mount, and it bolts in place, and I'm able to bolt a small thin-walled 3/4 inch sway bar into the front, and it bolts straight into, or it doesn't bolt onto the lower control arm. There's actually a clevis, I think it's called a clevis bracket, but this just swings over. It's on a hinge around this 1-inch tube, and allows me to mount my 3-way adjustable sway bar on the front, which helps tremendously with that rear oversteer issue. When you go into a corner, it actually helps. Like if this tire compresses, it actually is able to stabilize and push weight straight back through to the rear tire there, and which to me, noticed by the seat of the pants, that sway bar kept the rear planted, especially going around corners. But other than that, well, actually, this floor, I found some diamond plate at one of the local metal providers, and I picked that up on clearance. So I actually welded that onto the bottom of the frame, so that's like a solid, like, I think it's 1/16 or 1/8. It's a thick steel plate, and I ran that all the way from the front all the way to the back of the cage here. So that has been a noticeable improvement and rigidity, and less fear of something flying up through the floor on me. I cut the battery box out also, and what I did is I relocated the battery into the passenger floorboard and the footwell. Just made a little extension here, and so I still have the passenger kick plate. 3D printed a top for the battery, put a glass mat battery in here, and that worked out great. I added welded in an extra piece of tube from the outside rail to the inside and put thumb screws, you know, tacked in. You know, these are what are they called? Rib nuts. So those are M6 rib nuts there to put that kick plate in, and I ran power wire up to the driver's side, so I have a quick disconnect that'll shut everything off, fuel pump, all the electronics, everything. That's the main shut off for the entire car, including the alternator and everything. So just in case there's an emergency, you can flip that switch off, and you know the fuel pump will stop spraying fuel everywhere, or anything, you know, traumatic that may be going on. I think as far as that goes, that's everything to do with frame changes that I've done on this car.